I'll start with the Juniper. Juniper is a $4.7 billion company. It's a networking company, been in existence for 26 years into operation. Our vision is engineering simplicity. So we have clients across the world. Some of them are leading service providers, enterprise, as well as cloud customers. In a nutshell, we want to make life simple in a complex environment. So that is there. In the next slide, I will say our earlier panelists mentioned about integrated FP&A. How we have made it happen in Juniper architecture. If you could see, it is a combination. For an integrated FP&A to work and service offering, we should have both breadth and depth. We start with the core FP&A, which is where it drives the entire vehicle, if I would say, about doing the planning, forecasting, other activities. The management reporting. These days, it's just not about reporting in one style. We need to, based upon the business needs, we need to change ourselves. I'll give you an example in Juniper. 3 years back, we used to report by technology variant, which is routing, switching, security. As the customers have demanded about different structure, we had to move to something called business cases, which is about cloud, it is about security, connected security, and other elements. To do all these things in FP&A, I touch upon the data stewardship, extremely critical. I would say it is the foundational element of a building. If you don't get your foundation right, the entire building collapses. So if you want to make any reporting transformation, if you want to do insights, if you want to do automation, data is a foundation. This is where, as Bruno has mentioned in the earlier also, FP&A team, especially the finance folks, have to make data their friend, have to get down to the details, understanding, hey, what's happening in data? Is my data future ready for insights and analytics? A lot of people, what they do, just give a data structure. After that, okay, this is a technology problem. No, it's not a technology problem. It's a combination. You provide the vision, any tool can implement it. Next comes the sales comp support. This is quite interesting, which we try to implement in Juniper. We always believe there are only two functions in any company. Function which sells and all other functions which enable them to sell. So let's say, example, a sales guy wants to sell, but he's always worried, will I be paid next? Will I be paid in the right fashion? What will commissions? Then his mind will be not in the same place. So this entire function, sales comp support, ensures that everybody is paid on time, all analytics are there, to give them a sense of assurance that we have your back covered and you just deliver. The last aspect is KPI dashboards, which my earlier panelists have also mentioned. It's extremely critical. The world of FP&A is changing towards a transformational journey. A part earlier used to be analysis. I would say it is moving slowly but surely to analytics. To do that journey, we have large tons and tons of data. But what to make meaningful sense of the data? That's where the KPI dashboards, the visualization, analytics come into picture. And with this, all these functions, it has a breadth and depth across the board. What did we achieve? I'll show you the fantastic journey which GBS FP&A and Juniper has achieved. If you go to the next slide. Perfect. So this is what it is. I will spend some time on typically what happens in a shared service and the center of excellence. It always starts with cost arbitrage. You will have a limited road. People think that, hey, a person is having $200,000 there. In India, it costs 70, which is the natural case. We have limited role. We'll call it as transaction limiters, tons and tons of money. But what is interesting is some people have been exceptional in translating this model from shared service to center of excellence. How do we do that? Once we give a sense of assurance that yes, we are doing it rightly, then the portfolio expands. As you could see, we started the journey in APAC region. When I joined, I think 2015, 16 people were there in FP&A. Then we doubled it, where we expanded our territory to America, EMEA, and other things critical to us. There will be some volatility here because of portfolio expansion. That's where leadership was rock solid behind me as well as a team. After we showcased that, yes, we have the wherewithal to deliver, then we went to critical areas, wherein forecast ownership, the sales process, OPEX. So there was some stabilization period from 2017 to 18. And then after that, the pivot started. So enhanced ownership, driving opportunities, OPEX. What are the drivers? Co-owning the forecast accuracy. If you look at typically what happens in shared service, in a typical shared service, they say, hey, these are the data, can you churn out and give it to me? The heavy lifting of analytics is done only with onshore team, or what I could say headquarters. But in this model of a center of excellence, both come together and provide it. Then after that, we started something called as a project horizontalization, which is an equilibrium concept where we included all the data stewardship validation provided. I'll give you a case in point. Let's say somebody is in US during the night time. Typically, he wants something urgently to be delivered to a CFO. In a normal, what happens? He will send a mail to the shared service. Shared service receives it and next day sends the data. But in this collaboration model, if the maturity is there, they will first understand what is the problem we are trying to solve. Let's say the person asks for attrition data. He or she in my team or this one provides the data for the last 3 years. This has been attrition, this is the trend, and based upon this trend, the future leading indicators are suggested. In that way, once you have maturity, the person will get immediate response rather than waiting for 12 months. That's happened. And from there, once that journey had happened, we moved to value proposition. This was because of the business centric mindset, where we understood the business drivers and provide insights. It is a very important thing to happen. So a lot of people say analytics insights, but to provide insights, you need to invest and understand the business. Unless you earn a seat on the table, you will never be able to make this transformation. So overall, if you see from last 5 years, we have almost quadrupled our journey, and the journey has been fantastic. All this has been happening because of a business partnering mindset and also the willingness to make a change. If you go to the next slide. So what are the recipes for success, right? The quadruple journey over 6 years, what is it? We need to have an enabling culture. As Lucas has mentioned, if the culture, in our culture is very transparent, we celebrate each other's success, at the same time, learn from our mistakes. There is a famous quote where it's saying, we should celebrate our failures, but improve upon what went wrong. So that's what we do at our company. Also build an ecosystem related processes and activities. It is very important to understand how you have an understanding of the upstream and downstream process. This is where I could relate to the poll question earlier, where 45% is the process systems. But it is also about a finance book understanding. Let's say you give a requirement. How will it impact the operation person? How will it impact the marketing person? Once you have the downstream upstream understanding, then you'll do better. Second thing is move up the valuation of volume to value. It's just not about churning 1,000 reports. You can have one report, one dashboard, but if it provides insight, then everything will be sorted. Also, make your business partner look good. I'll give you a practical example. This year, when we did a planning for our chief revenue officer, chief sales, typically we don't give one number, we give options, right? Say, let's say this is the scenario. If he comes up saying that I need to invest in certain areas, perfectly fine. You can invest, but these are the opportunities where you have to divest to meet your target. In that way, you're enabling your business partner to solve and reach their financial goal. This mindset is extremely important because general perception, I see it in other companies where they're maturing, finance is being viewed as a business stumbler. Stumbler as in it's just a roadblock. Okay, this guys will ask more questions, but it will waste my time. We have to move away from it. The moment we move from a stumbling block to a business enabler, and that's the perception which the business feels, then we have won the battle. And all this journey, we need to have executive support. If you don't have executive support, it is very difficult. Also, change management. This is definitely change management. As Bruno has mentioned, as an integrated FP&A thought, we should have a willingness to change. If we don't have willingness to change, we'll continue doing that way. Then somebody else will do the job for us. So that is there. Next is invest in people, process, and technology. I can emphasize whenever I hire people, and it was difficult, right? When I sold a vision to them that it's not shared service, it's center of excellence, people will say, okay, this is not possible. But I specifically take time out in asking on 3 characteristics. One is knowledge. How much is the business knowledge? And how much is your customer centricity? What are the things which you have done to make your customer look good? What are your future plans during the interview stage? If all 3 things are satisfied, then they are right. Because we need people. People are extremely important, but we need to also have the right talent. And in future, what the way forward is self-service. After the analytics, it is not about churning 1,000 dashboards and figuring it, okay, you click on a dashboard. It's self-service, right? People log into this one instead of asking reports from FP&A. There's a dashboard, help yourself based on your login. So that is the move forward and deliver results. So in all these things, as I summarize, we need to ensure we have a strong culture. We need to also have a change mindset, a business partner oriented thought process, and to make technology systems your friend.